Landman Season 2 has kicked off at full speed, and I really realized how much I missed this show. Angela and Ainsley's playfulness, the difficult situations Tommy and Cami are caught up in, Cooper's rise, and most importantly, the emotional turmoil that TL, played by Sam Elliott, is going through really put us on an emotional roller coaster right from the first episode, and it seems like the show will continue to captivate us. That is why in this video, I will tell you what happened in episode 1 and what could happen in episode 2. Get ready because the drama and tension will peak even more in the second episode, the challenges of Cami and Tommy. After Monty's death, M-Tech's falling to Cami has really turned the entire order of the game upside down. M-Tech's debts to the banks, Monty's extremely ruthless approach to his partners, all of this has forced everyone's attention onto M-Tech's. And we learned in the very first episode just how difficult it will be to deal with this. Honestly, I had never seen Cami this tense, not even when Monty died. Even though she managed to convince the bankers about M-Tech's future, there will definitely be people who want to take advantage of Cami's vulnerable situation and who want to break up the company. That is why Tommy's support for Cami seems more necessary than ever. Because now the wolves have gathered around the table and what they want to eat is M-Tech's. Cooper's rise. Cooper absolutely had the biggest character development last season, and this growth continues to strengthen. As you remember, last season he made a deal with a landowner, and now he has managed to extract a significant amount of oil from that land. Once again, he proved how valuable it is to know the technical side of the job and to dedicate yourself to your work. However, I still feel that there are a few small issues in Cooper's life. Cooper becoming this obsessed with his work makes me think he might begin to distance himself from Ariana and her baby in the upcoming episodes, but we all know how honest and well-intentioned Cooper is. So if he and Ariana do run into problems later, I am sure they will figure it out. Angela and Ainsley. Unfortunately, it looks like nothing has changed for Angela and Ainsley this season either. Yes, they are really fun characters, I admit that. But while the story gets deeper and more serious, Angela and Ainsley staying this bright and rosy does not feel realistic to me at all. Yes, Ainsley getting into college is an absolutely wonderful development, but I am very unsure whether she will contribute anything to the show in terms of drama. As for Angela, things look a little more interesting again. When Tommy gets a phone call and she gets angry, most likely thinking it is Cami calling, it made me feel like Angela is jealous of Cami. We will likely understand better in the upcoming episodes whether Angela gets jealous as Tommy starts spending more time with Cami. TL's drama. Yes, the moment we were all waiting for finally arrived and we saw Sam Elliott. But I did not expect such a sorrowful entrance. TL entering the story by losing his wife and giving that meaningful speech at sunset really hit me deeply. Even though he is in a nursing home right now, we know Tommy will want TL by his side after the loss of his mother. That is why, already showing his wisdom, I am very curious to see what role TL will have in these upcoming oil wars that are about to explode. If you are curious too, let's take a look at what will happen in episode 2. Episode 2. Now here comes the most exciting part. The title of episode 2 is Sins of the Father, and the synopsis is as follows. Cami is blindsided. Tommy warns Cooper about his shady entanglements. I know that the synopsis and title hold many clues, but if we look at the promo, we truly understand what might happen in the episode. First, we see that there is a problem in Cooper's oil well, and then we see Cooper and Tommy talking. Most likely after this issue arises, he will need help from his father to fix the situation. But afterward, when Tommy takes a closer look at the job Cooper is involved in, he will notice the many problems that could arise. And I think the issues Tommy will point out will be the biggest problems they will be dealing with throughout season 2. Tommy says that Cooper's partner in this oil job will cause them massive trouble, and honestly, I cannot imagine this person being anyone other than Galeno, played by Andy Garcia. Most likely Galeno, because Tommy refused to work with him, secretly made a deal with Tommy's son Cooper to get revenge. Of course, Cooper has no idea who Galeno even is. Therefore, Without realizing the danger, Cooper may have signed a very dangerous contract. Most likely in episode 2, they will be searching for ways to get out of this heavy contract with Galeno. At this point, their lawyers, Nathan and Rebecca, will certainly have a lot of work to do. So, are the problems Tommy has to deal with over? Of course not, because right now he also has a funeral to arrange. When he tells his father that he has arranged the funeral, we see that there is a coldness between them. Tommy, wanting to handle the funeral, quickly will likely anger TL, who was very attached to his wife, and at this point we will see the reason why TL and Tommy have not been talking. However heavy this conversation may get, I still think Tommy will admit he was wrong and decide to take care of his father at home from now on. Now let's move on to the real drama that will unfold in the episode. Of course, I am talking about the assassination attempt on Cami. While out jogging under her security team's watch, we see someone pointing a gun at Cami. But of course, I do not think this assassination attempt will succeed, yet this attempt will definitely frighten both Cami and Tommy. So if we think about who might have arranged this, once again, I cannot think of anyone other than Galeno. However, Monty may have had many different enemies as well. Lastly, we see Angela and Ainsley visiting the nursing home again to help the elderly. And as always, because of her sharp personality, Angela gets into an argument with someone. Let's hope they do not get themselves into big trouble. Alright, now it is your turn. What do you expect to happen in episode 2 of Landman? How did you find episode 1? Let's meet in the comments. Meanwhile, if you want to learn the future of Taylor Sheridan's projects on Paramount Plus, check out this video.